and gentlemen. Good evening, boys and girls. Good evening, cats and dogs. My name is Shakir bar-tal, Sports Guy Show. Going to join any second from now. Through the magic, there's going to be a guy right there. His name is Panther Dog, and he's going to join me, and we will talk about the Carolina Panthers' massive game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Week 18 game. So I'm going to quickly share the link with my friend who's going to join me. So hopefully Mr. Ball will join us second from now, and we can talk about the Carolina Panthers, about the NFL. So I'm not sure, guys, what is going on with Ball. Not sure what is going on with Mr. Ball. Was hoping he would join us, but some stuff can take place. So hoping he will join us. Not sure what the heck is going on. Maybe some sort of internet connection because Mr. Ball is not in North Carolina. Somewhere, somewhere far away from North Carolina. So I'm not sure what the heck is going on with this internet, all of that. But the show will go on, folks. Even if you cannot join us, the show will go on as per usual because this is a big game, the biggest game since the Super Bowl. What's going on, Bo?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Please share the stream if you don't mind, because you have more followers than I do.
I thought I retweeted your post.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it. So, was saying before you came on, was about to say this is the game on Saturday. KB, it's Saturday. Thrown to Kyle Bailey, who's mentioning it like 5 times Sunday. No, it's Saturday, KB. So, anyway, this game on Saturday, biggest game since the Super Bowl. No doubt about it. Biggest game since the Super Bowl this coming Saturday, 4:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 your time.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Every game we've had over the last I don't know how many weeks, it's been the biggest since the biggest since. I mean, it just you know, it's going to be a big one. We're playing a team that we've beaten not too long ago, but we're playing in
So
Tampa this time. So and there's a lot more on the line. At least that's what it feels like. So yeah, man, we got to have an offense that shows up and hopefully these guys will be ready to go.
Right. I mean, I know every week we talked about it's a big game and all of that, but this is basically do or die. I mean, forget about Atlanta. Forget about what happened yesterday with the Falcons winning and all of that, because the Saints are also on fire. That is the thing everyone needs to remember. The Saints are also playing great football. And let's be honest. And I've heard an FNZ, KB, Vashtai Ols, and everyone else saying, oh, if they make the playoff because of a team that losing, it still count. Yeah, it still count, but at the same time, I mean, I'm looking at college football. Notre Dame wasn't invited to the playoff. They forfeit. They decide, you know what? I'm not going to go to the playoff. Not going to play in a ball game. And the Panthers are not going to forfeit, but in a way, it feel like we don't make it to the playoff. We should forfeit because we have a chance. We have a chance on Saturday against a team who's 1-7 in their last 8 games. We have a chance. So let's take care of business and let's not count on the Falcons or anything else. Let's do it ourselves, which will make us remember it, I think, realistically, for a long time, versus we get in because the Falcons beat the Saints. Maybe I'm wrong, but that is how it feel like.
Um, I'm not quite sure I follow you there, man. What? So you're making a comparison to Notre Dame, basically saying we're not going to go to a bowl game because they didn't make the playoff.
Yeah.
You're saying that they.
I,
I'm sorry. I'm. You lost me there for a second.
what I'm saying is the Panthers, of course, will not forfeit if they get in because of the
Oh
Falcons.
no, and no one over there will listen. You just beat it, Tampa. Just beat Tampa. We don't have to worry about the scenario. I know everyone is talking about it because it is wild. Because nobody thought that. I mean, did anyone really think that the Falcons were actually going to win? Even when they were winning in that game, it was like 21-0. It's like, well, here comes the Rams. So nobody
I
wants
did.
to have the Falcons do our dirty work to get us into the playoff. But we'll take it any way we can get it. But yeah, we just got to beat Tampa. It's hard to beat a team twice in the NFL. And this is a Tampa team that they've been in these situations before. They've got players that have won Super Bowls that are still a part of that team. So yeah, they've been spiraling, but you know you you're gonna have to beat them. And I know we've just kind of worn out this whole scenario thing today because I mean I was driving all day, man. I literally just drove from Charlotte all the way through Chattanooga, through Arkansas, and got in not too long ago, a couple hours ago. But yeah, I listened to a lot of the guys talk about it, and it's just simple. Just go beat Tampa.
Exactly. Or get a tie. Get a tie if you want to cause us a cardiac arrest. Get a tie. A tie will get us in. A tie will get us in. Not, I mean, our blood pressure will probably be in the 200 range. We'll probably get a stroke and a heart attack. But get a tie. A tie will get us in just perfectly fine. Oh, you mentioned Tampa has players who won Super Bowl. We also have players who won Super Bowl. Austin Colbert. Austin Colbert won a Super Bowl with the Rams.
We've got one player. We've got one player.
But wasn't Bobby Brown with them when they won the Super Bowl?
No, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But we've got how many other guys that this is going to be great experience for them. They're playing. This is another kind of playoff game atmosphere, where you have a chance to sign your card for something that Panthers fans, to something that people we haven't seen in a while. I mean, it's been a while, and I know it said like 7, 8 years, whatever that number was, but it
No,
really feels like it's been longer, Shaked, because we've been through some ish, if you will.
we've been through hell because of Matt. So we can say it. We've been through hell because of Matt Rule.
Well, at the
We
end of the
can.
day, at the end of the day,
Hey, but he was right. He said 7 years. He was right.
oh gosh, you know what? Whatever, that's fine.
I
Um,
mean, he was right, but he didn't plan to get fired in between. But unfortunately, he was right. I mean, he said JC or something like that doesn't take 7 years to rebuild, so it will take 7 years. Of course,
It
it
doesn't
shouldn't.
take but I will say it doesn't take 7 years to rebuild. There were so many hiccups along the way for that rebuild to take forever. I mean, it took for, and we had to go through the Reich hiring, which I mean, whoo we talk about abysmal. I mean, that was awful. So yeah, we've been through some darkness. There's no doubt about it. So I think we can all just be like, hey, Seattle's a good team. I just saw the odds. They have them as like one of the odds to win the Super Bowl, like all the way up at the top, and that's Vegas. So I know there's a lot of people I know, say, hey, uh, I don't trust Sam Darnold in these pressure situations. But
That's possible.
what's
Sorry
that?
to, sorry to cut you off. I see a trend here. You attended the game. You attended the game against Dallas. Pardon me, against Buffalo. You attended the game against Seattle. Guess who also attended that game? Travis, T-Bone, and Cook. So it's the T-Bone kills. T-Bone attended the game on Sunday. He attended the game against Buffalo. It's just the coast.
It's
Just
a
like
fun. I'll admit it's a fun bit, but you can't actually believe that there's such a thing as a curse when someone shows up to a game. That's kind of
I,
like,
I believe in karma. I believe in karma.
what
I
does that
believe in.
mean? T-Bone has bad karma or bad juju associated with the sports?
But here's the deal. Honestly, before the game started, I tweeted at the guys, Fiddy, Bone, Burrow, Megan, so on. I tweeted them, the weather is depressing. I have a bad feeling. Like, I literally, before the Buffalo game, like, I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't go to the sport bar. I have a bad feeling. It's going to be a blowout. I had the same exact feeling with this game. Like, why should I go to the sport bar? It's going to be a blowout. That is how I saw it in my brain well before the game started. Unfortunately, I was correct. Now, here's the deal. We face the Seahawks again, it will be a totally different story. Because it's not easy to embarrass the team twice in the same season. So mark my word, we get in, which I think we will get in. Guess what happened? If the Seahawks lose, if the Seahawks lose Saturday night, guess who come to Bank of America Stadium next week? Seahawks.
A shout out to Chuck. We got a guy over here in the chat saying what's up. A couple other weird things in the chat, but then we also got a happy holidays, Santiago. So we got some listeners, some friends here. I know Chuck is. I've been following his Twitter and some of his takes, and we've watched some games together this year. So I already know what he's thinking after that last game plan we had against Seattle. You got to open up. There's got to be more open up playbook for this, man. I mean,
No,
I'm watching the game, and the difference from when you can watch the game, and you're looking over on that 500 level, you can actually see where the receivers are in the field compared to when you're watching on TV. And I got to tell you, man, I'm watching it with my dad. My dad played football in the NFL. He's a quarterback in the NFL at one point. So he's telling me, he says, our guys have got no separation all day. And their defense just had them right there. They didn't miss a tackle all day until like the end of they missed one tackle. We counted, and it was at like the near the end of the fourth quarter. But you've got to you've got to open up the playbook. You got to run the ball. This has been all season that we've been waiting for Dave to figure it out with this offense, and everyone's like, "Well, Bryce Young can't do this." We've seen the stats that show that he's good if he throws it downfield, but T Mac was hurt. We've got situation where you've got Xavier Legette as your third guy up, and I don't know if you're going to have to get David Moore in there if he's healthy, but they've got to figure out a game plan where, man, we could just open up some kind of playbook, stick to a run play. I mean, just that was some abysmal offense, and we've seen it more often than not. It feels like, even though we do have 8 wins.
yeah, I mean, I told the guys coming to this game, coming to this feel like a preseason game. And that how it truly felt like. So many mental mistakes. I mean, JC Owen, personal foul, Derek Brown dropping the interception, which I don't blame him. It's tough for 300. pound guy to hold on to the ball. But JC on fell pass attempt by Sam Donald. He dropped a pass. Say XL jumping offside. jumping offside when it wasn't necessary. Tyler Moten getting beat up. I mean, literally, all the mistakes we saw were basically of a preseason game, not not of week 17.
Uh,
And
I, something that Chuck mentions here, Canales loves bunch sets. Our receivers don't have that speed to support bunch sets. We really are lacking some speed, man, and they're going to have to get that in the off season because we have a hard time spreading the field. And
Jimmy,
the offensive line, I don't care what Dave said at the podium because coaches lie. They do lie. I know he's a man of faith, but he's not getting behind the pulpit behind there. He's getting behind the lectern. He can lie. And that offensive line, there was, you know, that they were getting step back there, and there was some pressure, and we just people say, well, we're not throwing it downfield, or Dave doesn't trust Bryce. I mean, we're not running the right kind of offense for the actual players that we've got on the field. I
but
just think that we could run the ball a whole lot more, and I don't know, find a way to utilize Jimmy Horn more because that guy's only going on a team that's got some real speed threat.
exactly, I was going to say he's a speed still. I mean, the one thing I noticed at the game on Sunday, O line got beat up. I mean, we saw Cade Mays got pushed back. That is a no-no. Tyler Moten got pushed back. All of that. So they outplayed us, which resulted in Bryce 53-yard passing yard, which is horrendous, unacceptable. But we didn't also take deep shot. Part of it, wide receiver could not get open. Another part of it, Bryce literally had pressure at his face right away. So we literally had to check down on every play. Every play we had an offense check down, check down.
And
Check
we
down
don't.
can
No, you're
check
you're 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 right. I agree with you, and we don't have a big tight end that can spread the field either. We're just kind of missing like a bona fide tight end too. Um, so yeah, I just think it's
pretty
funny how we have these conversations online and on the internet or whatever where people are just bashing Bryce, and it's like you can't tell me that if Bryce was in the same situation with some of these other quarterbacks that he'd be making it rain out there. So, and the fact that I just told you that Vegas has Seattle as the number one favorite to win the Super Bowl, we played against a real tough contender there, a tough in the trenches defense there. Like I said, I only saw him miss one tackle, and it wasn't until late in the. So, a couple of things can be true all at the same time. Sorry, I had to didn't mean to cut you off.
right. No, it's okay. I mean, the Saints are very good, but let's be honest, we made too many mistakes. I mean, Chuba fumbling the ball after Michael Jackson interception.
Yeah,
If
that
Chuba
hurt. That hurt.
the Bryce interception, the face mask by JC On, the dropped interception by JC On to begin with. I mean, against a great team, and the Seahawks are a great team. You make those mistakes, they will come back and bite you. You don't capitalize on the mistakes that they make, you will lose. So I truly believe if we had played like we did against Tampa, no turnovers, I think it's a totally different game. And if if we lose, we probably lose by a field goal, not by 17 points. So give credit to the Seahawks, but we didn't give them a chance. We didn't give ourselves a fair chance to play, to win, which even though, from what I understand, they did not show the scoreboard of Tampa game at the stadium. I, the players won't admit it. Canales won't admit it. But they literally, basically, and maybe I'm wrong, but to me it feel like they were already looking for Week 18. They were saying,
I don't know about that, man. I'll politely disagree, but go ahead and state your point.
I mean, they were like, you know what, the Seahawks are very good. Tampa is probably going to beat Miami. That is what they believe. So Tampa is probably going to beat Miami. Yeah, we want to put up a good fight against the Seahawks, but if we lose, not a big deal. I mean, Canales had Bryce take a knee with a minute and a half left in the game when we were losing by 17. That is the clearest indication he knew about he knew about what is going on with Tampa. He probably was aware of it, even though they didn't show it. I'm sure he was aware of it at that particular time.
But my thing is, everybody in that stadium knew because we've got these things with the phones, and you can pull it up on the app. Players probably could pull it up. All it takes is one person to know and say, "Hey, we can do this." So it was a tie ball game at the half, and the Chuba fumble that hurt. That kind of that changing. We were in the game the most of the game, and then things got away from us, and we were just anemic on offense. We could not move the chains to save our damn life. And it wasn't like Seattle's offense was that great. They had short field position all day because their defense gave them those opportunities. But I mean, like I said, they're a good football team. They've only lost 3 games this year, so both things can be true at the same time. Um, which is,
Yeah,
we got a chance to go to the playoffs, and that is the number one thing. And that means
right.
that we have a chance to see Bryce be that clutch Bryce that we've seen before in the past, to go down to Tampa and take care of business in prime time on Saturday, or at least on a national
Yeah,
scale.
it's prime,
So
technically prime time because that is the only NFL game. And you're right, Chuck. I mean, 2021. If JC does not pull the face mask of Jackson Smith Nagupta, if he doesn't pull the face mask, it's probably a different ball game, and we're probably talking about the Panthers' victory. That is the NFL. It's literally a game of inches. And the thing with this team, it's a bipolar team. They've been diagnosed with bipolar. I mean, we talked about it ball after the Saints game that they lost, and we mentioned, oh, they're going to be Tampa. They're going to be Tampa, even though the officials were terrible. In the Saints game, we mentioned they're going to be Tampa. And I think I said to you, I'm probably going to lose to Seattle because that is it's a Jackson and I kind of a team. It's a bipolar team, which is as frustrating as it is. Because we're on the playoff front. I mean, last season we didn't have a show, and that is fine. But last season, week 18, what were we looking at? Mac draft. Who will the Panthers? They need to lose. They need to lose so they will move up ahead of Jacksonville and all of that. That is what we focused on last season. 2 years ago, we focused on, you probably didn't attend that week 18 game. I attended it. It was horrendous against Tampa. Guess who we played week 18 2 years ago at the bank? Tampa Bay. It was horrendous. Who are we focused on? Who will be the next head coach? So yeah, it's frustrating. It's a bipolar team. They need to fix it in the offseason, getting better players, tight end, linebacker, letting go for Vera, which I believe is not a good defensive coordinator. Upgrade, get rid of Nick.
defense wasn't a problem on Sunday. I thought
But
defense played well, and what are we going to do? Just completely just like forget the fact that JC Horn has been really well, like Pro Bowl level, because of one very soft. I mean, when I say soft, that was like he almost had his hand in like a fist. It was such a soft face mask. So that's kind of a bad break. And it was a bad break at a bad time. Yeah, he's in the wrong for it. But let's not act like this dude is like some like choke artist out there at and we're seeing Mike Jack starting to look like, I mean, he's gotten better and better throughout the season. So, which knock on, thank God these guys have been healthy because we don't have any depth at corner. So, and
no,
we don't really have a consistent pass rush. So it's been impressive what our corners have done. So I just thought it was funny how everyone just like, oh my God, I can't believe he did it. And it's like, just what, are we not human? Can we not make a mistake? We expect these guys to be perfect because they're professionals. It was a soft. It's very soft. And Derek Brown was a beast in that game. The fact that he even had an opportunity to get that almost pick, that would have been incredible. That would have been nearly a play of the year for the big guy like he is to be able to have that quick reflex and still get hands and paws on that ball. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of weight trying to carry, and you know. So I just I don't look at anything with the defense and say, oh my gosh, no, this is a defense that can win it. They're even without a just complete bona fide pass rusher like a Crosby, if you will. Even though we don't have someone like that, they've got guys that are still finding ways. So I don't buy into the Avero hate, and that's why I get a little defensive on it because I thought he had a good game plan. We just I don't our offense let us down.
Yeah. Hey, Isabel, we're talking about the Carolina freaking Panthers against Tampa Bay. But devil advocate, two things. Number one, full disclosure, I've not been a fan of Rivera from day one. Why? I'm sure he's a great person off the field, but his defense is vanilla. Last season against Dallas Cowboys, which I still remember it because it caused me freaking nightmare. Against Jalen Todd, I believe it was goal line situation near the in the red zone. Guess who Rivera put on a fast wideout? DJ Wandham, a linebacker, not a very fast linebacker against a speedy wideout. Guess who Rivera is for now starting at safety, which I've not been a fan of him since the Bengals game. Nick freaking Scott.
Nick
With
Scott's been
time,
fine this season. He's been fine.
I
I
mean,
mean, I haven't heard any. Well, we haven't heard anything about Nick Scott being a problem. We need to get bigger at some of the positions, like the nickel position. We need a more solid physical nickel. But I mean, once again, you're on a guy, and it's like, who has he had besides just a handful of dudes? We've had to build this thing up, and this is the first year where we had to bolster, the front side. We had front load that defensive line, really because it's so important to stop the run. So we tried to get those guys in there. Some of them have panned out a lot better than others. I mean, but you got guys that are they're on the up and up. I think Vera does a good job at coaching these guys up. I mean, we got to give Mike Jack's been great, and he's gotten better throughout the season. I think Avero deserves some credit for that. So
yeah, but hey, I don't like the 3-4. I really don't because I believe 3-4 take Derrick Brown and doesn't make him the best player. Even though it's very good, I personally prefer the 4-3. Now, number two, you going back to Nick Scott. You mentioned, yeah, he had an interception against the Rams, but look at the times ball he get beat up in coverage. Look at the time. I mean,
well,
Sunday,
we're gonna have to upgrade at that position. No one's expecting Nick Scott to be, this all out great safety. He's been
he's a
more serviceable than I think you would even admit. I mean, so I'm just telling you, some of these guys. I mean, there's a reason why he plays the way that they do. It's because we don't have just this guaranteed immediate get in your face kind of pass rush like Seattle had against us on Sunday. Sometimes
and
those guys can sit back there and you can count to, one Mississippi, two Mississippi. That's you've got to now you've got to make sure you keep everybody in front of you because you can get burned that way. So
but
that's just my take on that.
to think about Scott, you can. I rather have Roseman than Nick Scott personally. Number two, number two. Uh, so I rather have Christian Rose, not Christian Ransom. Pardon me, Ransom than Nick Scott. I rather have him because I believe he's a better safety right now as a rookie. And number two, you mentioned the defense played great, good on Sunday. They did. But also, well, let's be honest, they got too many times beat up on the outside run.
Well, they
One
were
of
on
them
the
even
field. They were on the field most of the time because our offense was off the field so much. We weren't playing complementary football, and given how much time they were on the field, I mean, I I'm just saying, this was an offensive situational problem to where eventually your defense is going to get tired because they're the ones that are having to protect and to stay on the field. So we just it came down to moving the chains, and we couldn't do it against that team. And that changes everything to the defense too, because when you're having to play more snaps and you're having to do that, yeah, it could get a little bit easier. And they were still having opportunities to get off the field, playing smart football. They were playing smart football.
I mean, I give them credit. I give Avero credit. Apparently, you like him. I don't. Totally fine. So, difference compared to last season, greatly improved. Are they where they need to be? Absolutely not. But compared to last season, yes, they are much better. At the same time, do I want a Vera gun? Yes. Do I want Nick Scott
It's not going to
gun?
happen. I will bet anything you want to bet on it, because he's not going to get a head coaching job and he's not going to get fired. So I'm just letting you know, don't
The
hold your
second.
breath. Vera's going to be back next year. I'm just making sure that you know that. So I just want, you can say fire him, fire him, fire him, fire him, fire him. It will not make a difference. He's going to be back here next year. I'm just so you understand that.
That's the second. He's a pending free agent. That is the difference.
Who do you want
He
to
is a,
bring in? Who do you want to bring in? Luke Kuechly? Are we bringing in Luke Kuechly out of retirement? Is that because that seems to be the only person I'm seeing everyone like, oh yeah, that makes no sense. Luke Kuechly doesn't want to start coaching. I don't think he'd have any interest in looking at people, not work as hard as he does. It's like Michael Jordan watching today's NBA. It's like, I don't
what
want to
about
watch that.
Ray Boston?
Trey Boston's doing his own thing, enjoying, the fan experience, being behind the mic. I don't think he has any interest in that either. We've got a good defensive coordinator. We just need to keep on building on that defense.
We need to be more aggressive. We need to be more aggressive. But be careful with the bet, Bob, because my friend Alex Bryant, and that was a friendly joke. But before the season, you know, he told me before the season, Nick Scott will be gone. Nick Scott will not be on the roster, and I'm betting you $500. That was a joke, of course. Nick Scott started, and ever since then, Alex Bryant decided to quit. And I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. He didn't tell me anything, but he bet he lost it. So be careful placing against bet against Shaked Nostradamus. Well,
I just want you to understand that, like, just because I think that something isn't like fireable offense, that I don't think it's like the greatest thing ever, right? It's not like one thing or the other where you have to go through both sides where it's just this huge gap between things. I think there's a couple of things that can be kind of similar and close to being true at the same time. Can we upgrade at that safety position and still keep Nick Scott on the team as a depth piece? Yes. I think that is completely, we get a
uh,
younger guy. We're building a physical defense, but we can't expect some of these guys in the year two of David Canales's rebuild to be just absolute world beaters. And they've been better than I would even think, that, considering the fact that, like I said, we're dead last in the NFL in sacks, Shaked. We're dead last. We have the
no, I
least.
know,
Do you know how hard it is to have a defense when you can't even put pressure on the quarterback consistently? You could be
but
you
just
could be anybody back there. You could be Travis T-Bone Hancock, and you'll be going back there and you'll be carving them up, just making it rain.
I bet he can play better defense than Nick Scott. I mean, I bet so. I mean, Bo, did you watch the game last season against the Bengals?
I've
Do
watched
you
every
remember?
game. I've watched every game. Doesn't mean I can remember it like you can. You have that smoke Ludwig photographic memory, it seems like, on some of these plays. Mainly the plays that you don't like. I remember that you remember a lot of the plays that don't go well. Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I remember it to go well, but here's what I remember: goal line situation near the end of the first half. The Bengals end the ball to Chase Brown. Nick Scott has a chance to dive on him, make a tackle, just like JC Owen did against Tampa. Similar situation. JC Owen doesn't put his body on the line, back you off and score, and probably Tampa go ahead and win the game. I literally feel that. So Nick Scott had a chance to dive on him. He did not do that.
And you've never
Chase Brown.
forgiven him since. You've never forgiven him since.
The following
You are
week,
you are a tough okay. I got you. I got you.
against the Bears, he had a chance to make a wide open tackle and he missed it. So he's unreliable. Yes, he had interceptions against the Bears. Kabul.
If you, I'd like to see you run this defense, Shaqued. I'd like to get you the headset. If you would have watched that happen, you would have been like, you would have taken his key card right there and had security wheel him out on one of those carts out of the county. You would have told him he can't come back in the state of North Carolina.
Pay me as much as he get paid. I would probably get a heart attack trying to tackle someone. But at least I will try. I will try, Bo. At least I will try because I mean, you look at his effort. You look at JC Owen effort against Tampa. It's night and day. I mean, go back to the Packers game. He got beat up. Thank God for a moment, a Trevon Murray interception because he got beat up. I mean, he's literally. I mean, I'm sure you can outrun Nick Scott. T-Bone can outrun Nick Scott more. Ludwig, because he lost 60 pounds thanks to PhD weight loss, he can outrun Nick Scott. Anyone can outrun Nick Scott. Even a 90-year-old grandma or grandpa can outrun Nick Scott.
The game is played quick. It's played much quicker than when you can even imagine. You sometimes you think that it is, and I know that you watch all these other teams, and we watch all these other NFL teams, and you see all these different, okay, 4-3-3, all that stuff. I'm just saying that Nick Scott has surprised a lot of Panthers fans because he has been just fine this year. He's been good at times. Sometimes he's flashed moments that have been great. Okay. I haven't seen these games and I'm like, oh my gosh. It just my issue is that we need Nick Gordon to continue to develop and be the guy that he is, where he can do the things that he's doing. But we need to bolster with a bona fide pass rusher. In fact, I think I would put that as priority number one, with as well as getting a tight end and probably a receiver. And then you're going to need to get another linebacker too, because we're starting to see issues with that. So, I mean, given the situation, we're 8-8. We're getting a chance to, and I say we're not actually on the team, but it is fun to talk about it. We get to say we, but yeah,
I have an idea.
We got a chance to get some more experience, and you just never know. We've shown up against teams that have and beaten them soundly. So
I have an idea.
You just never know. Let's just get in the ship and see what happens.
I have an idea. Let's bring back Vero and Nick Scott for the black and blue crew. T-shirt tags. Vero will throw T-shirt. Nick Scott will be self-pearl dancing partner. Everyone will be happy. You will be happy. I will be happy. T-Bone will be happy. Panthers Nations will be happy.
I got a better idea. Are you still celebrating Hanukkah, or is
ended
okay
last week?
Well, I might have I might have to send you a late gift or something, because I'd like to get a Coach Avero, his face on one side of a T-shirt, and then a Nick Scott face on the other side, and then you can
send it to T-Bone. T-Bone is not Avero Omer, according to Willie P. Willie P told me T-Bone is not Avero Omer, so send him to T-Bone for his birthday coming up.
I'll put your face below them, and I'll just say it's the three wise men.
That is my reaction.
That's just an idea. That's just an idea.
Right. Well, I appreciate, but unfortunately, maybe I will send it to, I don't know, to Wes Bryant. I mean, Wes Bryant is a 49ers fan, so he can wear it. He can wear it, or I don't know, maybe T-Bone wear it next to his Jets jersey and all of that. But anyway.
So here's my question for you. Two-part question.
Sure.
3-part question. 3-part. And these are the 3 big questions. Do you think we beat Tampa? Do you think the Falcons beat the Saints? And who would you rather play first in the playoffs?
I think we beat Tampa. I really do. Now, I have a strange feeling that the Saints might beat the Falcons. I have a strange feeling the Saints beat the Falcons.
Tyler Show's playing great, man. I mean, he's playing great. There's a reason why he's gone up in voting for Rookie of the Year.
I know, but the Saints defense is terrible. It's not a
Well,
good defense.
they're not terrible. They've gotten better throughout the year. I mean, they're not terrible.
It's a toss up. It's literally a toss up.
I was gonna say it's
Every,
kind of a toss up. No, I agree with you on that. It's in New
every
Orleans, isn't it?
no, Atlanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, maybe I
everyone.
might lean towards the Falcons a little bit, but we can't expect it. I just hope that like we don't have to watch that game. It'd be just nice that we can watch other good football games on Sunday, knowing that we got to make our plans for next week.
Exactly. So I mean, people don't understand. Forget about if we need to get into the playoffs for the Falcons or not, which I don't think we will. That is my gut feeling. But people don't understand the Falcons and the Saints literally don't like one another one bit. It's an arch rival that people outside of the NFC South don't realize that. They don't like one another whatsoever. They will probably get into chip shot and fight and all of that. They don't like each other. Now, the Saints have more incentive, honestly, to lose for draft purposes. The Falcons have more incentive to win to ruin the Rams draft purposes. I don't know about the Steelers winning all. I mean, the Steelers might not make it to the playoffs. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, 69-year-old Aaron Rodgers, is washed up. Their defense, their
Now it's
offense.
69.
I mean,
What? Okay. Stay on track here. All right. What team would you like to? What would you prefer to play if we do beat Tampa when we go to the playoffs? What would be the team you'd prefer to play?
it's not if it's not if we beat Tampa, but
Okay,
anyway,
I got you. Technically, we don't have a crystal ball, but I got you.
sure. So either 49ers or Seahawks, one of the two. I think honestly the Rams, because we beat them, might be a tougher game. Even though they looked terrible last night. The Rams might be more tougher game because it's more difficult. You face a team regular season, you face them in the playoff. It's more difficult to beat them back to back. I mean, we did that in 2015 with the Seahawks, but the first game was a road game in Seattle, which made a difference. The playoff game was in Bank of America Stadium. I think 49ers could be a good matchup for us, even though it will probably be 49ers fans takeout over the bank, even though Panthers fans will show up because they typically travel pretty well. Seahawks, I like a rematch. I it it might not go away, but I think it will be much closer than 17 margin Seahawks victory.
Yeah. So I guess I have more belief in Samuel Darnell than most other people do. I know that people say, "Well, we've seen in the past when things don't go well." Well, he's only lost 3 games this year, and you do get better over time, especially when the situation is better around you. And also, he's got JSN as a target you just go to all day. So I'm pretty sure the Vikings are kicking themselves for letting him go. And by the way, when they lost the Vikings in the playoffs last year, that offensive line was awful. Sam had pressure in his face all day. So you can say he turns into a pumpkin. That's fine. But I don't want to play the Seahawks this quickly, that much of a turnaround again. I would like I would like to I'd like to have another shot at the 49ers. And when we intercept Brock Purdy 3 times, if we would have just ran the ball in that game, I thought we were the better team. I don't care if that offends any 49ers fans. I thought we were the better team, but we just had a terrible game plan. We tried to be this like short air raid check down offense that didn't even establish the run. And our defense was, I mean, they were ready to feast on Purdy. So
Also,
I'd like to have
also
another shot at them. And we played them in. So now it'd be having to bring them into the bank. That's the matchup that I would prefer. I don't want any part of Stafford, and I just that defense I saw that only missed one tackle. Shaquette, they missed what it was a clinic and wrapping people up. Um,
in
yeah,
that game, also in that game, if Bryce doesn't throw that, if Bryce run with the ball doesn't throw the pick on, I believe it was second and goal, if we score a touchdown, we go on top 7-0. Also, we had so many injuries in that game. JC Owens suffered a concussion. Clyde Jolis suffered a concussion. We didn't have Wallace, is out for the season, but we also didn't have Christian Roseman. Corey Tolton broke his leg. T-Mac dropped a catchable pass right in his hand. So literally, forget about running or passing the ball. Every mistakes we made went against us. Now, if we play against the 49ers again, will Josh Ponder, pardon me, Brock Ponder throw three interceptions? Probably not. But we can beat them. Literally, we can beat anyone in the playoff, but we can lose to anyone in the playoff at the same time.
Oh yeah, and if you lose, I would just also. It's hard to beat a team twice, especially a team that has a guy that was on an MVP level before they just threw up a clunker last night with the Rams. But I got a lot of respect for Matthew Stafford, so I don't want to see him in a situation like that. And it's just hard to beat a team twice in the NFL. Especially like the Rams. I mean, everyone's going to be down on the Rams now because they lost 2 games in a row or whatever. No, they'll be
If I,
fine. Sean McVay's a
if,
good coach. They'll be fine.
if I sorry to cut you off, if I remember correctly, against the Rams, JC didn't play in that game. JC only Michael Jackson played in that game. So that could be interesting matchup. Puka Nakuka, one of the best underrated wideout in the NFL, against JC on. That will be interesting. Will be interesting game, honestly.
But we got
Probably,
we got to get through Tampa first. This is what I was afraid of. We started talking about the playoff that hasn't happened yet. We still got to beat Tampa.
but just a second. Neither you and I, the last I saw, we played for the Panthers. And if we play for the Panthers, we would be a billionaire by now. So we don't play for the Panthers, and as far as I know. Maybe you do. I don't play for the Carolina Panthers. I'm too short. I'm 5'8", so plus I don't have good throwing arms. So no, I don't play for the Panthers. I don't know about you.
Are you telling me I said we too much? I think I said a we about 300 times on this show tonight.
No, no, but what I mean, hypothetically we can talk about potential playoffs and all of that. So, what is your prediction for the game on Saturday? Panthers Buccaneers.
I got us winning 27-24. That might be
Will
the
be
same score we won by last time. I can't remember. Or was it 30-27?
last time 23-20.
Okay. Yeah, 27-24. I got us winning. Just got to get our offense going, man. Got to run the ball. Not doing it enough. And now we got concerns about Chuba now. Is he going to be able? Are we going to be able to trust him?
Yeah,
That's a real genuine concern.
but Tampa is dealing with so many injuries more than we do. I don't know if you've seen the injury report. Baker was today limited with both shoulders. So it's not just the right, it's the left shoulder also. Tristan Wolf, the all pro tackle, he did not practice today. I don't know, maybe he will tomorrow. But I'm wondering, let's say hypothetically Baker does not play. Are we more worse off Panthers with Teddy Bridgewater playing?
No, I don't think Teddy Bear Bridgewater was. I don't think he was that good when he started that last game. So yeah, Baker's going to play. That dude, he's a lot of things. There's no doubt, but I don't think he's going to miss out on this game.
But even though it's a tough SOB, with both of his shoulder bent up, he is wanting to
He'll
win.
throw the ball with his belly button. He'll put the ball in here and he'll shoot it out, or he'll throw with his foot. He'll get his foot out and throw it over.
You know, and and maybe it's just me, but I see like, and I know the social media account, nothing to do, maybe something to do with the team vibe. And I remember week 16. I remember week 16 before the game, the Panthers hyped it up. And I admit, I don't follow the Buccaneers social media account, but I remember the Panthers stated we will have rally towels, we'll have a playoff speak, and all of that. And it truly felt like a playoff game. On Saturday, the Buccaneers, I haven't seen any mention of the towers or anything like that. They're giving the first 13,000 fans in attendance Mike Evans bobblehead. And I understand he's a Hall of Famer and all of that. But you can also celebrate them. His great career with Tampa. At the same time, we'll give rally towels. We'll make it feel like a true, meaningful game. Like I truly feel like Tampa, yes, they want to win it, but they're okay with like, you know what, if we lose, bring on the off season. For us, it's a new territory. We haven't been in that place. We haven't been in that place. It's literally we have nothing to lose. We have nothing to lose because I had them winning 9 to 10 games. So let's say we missed out. We're still probably going to make the playoff next season and maybe a Super Bowl run. But for Tampa, if they lose, their dynasty of winning the NFC South is over. So they have more to lose than we do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like an idiom kind of saying, or what is it? It's like a euphemism. What kind of saying is that?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I mean, Tampa.
I think they've got just as much to lose. They're prideful. They're prideful people. They want to win.
No, I
Um,
know, but look, look at them losing 1 out of 7 games.
yeah, and they're going to lose one more, so it's great. We just need to pick off Baker. I don't want to see bleep eating grin Baker. I want to see boo, I'm angry Baker. I like that kind of Baker where he thinks he's like Mr. Tough Guy.
We need to get off the early start. Early start, like because the game is at Tampa, we cannot afford to go down 10-3, something like
Hold
that.
on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We've got thoughts on Portugal from West, whatever. No.
West,
Austin,
West,
123. Can you sing me happy birthday? No. Happy
keep
birthday,
pounding.
though. Yeah, there you go. All right. Sorry.
Keep,
What were
keep,
you saying, Shakad? I got about one more minute.
I'm saying we cannot get off to a bad start. Get off to an only 10 nothing lead. It's over. Start the champagne ball. I
I
don't know
don't
if you
know.
drink.
We got off to a bad start against Miami and they came back. But yeah, I'm with you. It would be very helpful.
It was a road game. So anyway, I'm predicting we are going to do Tampa. I'm going to guess 27-24. So literally almost like your score. I think this is our game to win. I don't want to go into Sunday nail biting, worrying about the Falcons and all of that. Let's beat the Buccaneers and let's recap the game, win, lose, or tie, and talk about now. Yes, Pat McAfee, the Carolina Panthers are a pretty good damn football team, and we are going to the playoffs. So let's do it.
All right. That sounds good, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Anytime, boys. Keep pounding and beat the Buccaneers. Let's go.
Keep pounding.
Thanks.